Shabbat Shalom from Temple Concord. This week our Torah portion is Naso, and at the end of Naso is a blessing that you've heard lots of times. It's a blessing that I'm honored to give at baby namings and at brisses, at bar and bat mitzvahs, at weddings, and it is the blessing that the priests gave. And in traditional times the priests would form a shin, the letter shin, with their hands, and the letter shin you probably recognize from Star Trek fame, but Leonard Nimoy himself got it from the synagogue. The shin is short for Shaddai, which is one of the names of God, and the priests would lay their hands on a person's head, and of the two shins, make one shin again, right? These two ends are one piece, and this is the other, and bless the person, and say, Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, may God bless you and keep you. Yo'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha, may God's face shine upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom, may God's face always shine upon you, and may you know peace. So why is it those words? Why is that blessing the one that has stuck with us? Well, part of it is regularity. We do it at all of those life cycle events. We also traditionally do it each Shabbat for our children. But part of it is the beauty and the majesty of those three lines. May God bless you and keep you. May God be a part of your existence. May God's face shine upon you. None of us really knows if God has a face or what it looks like. But the notion of God's face shining on us and each of us reflecting that divine sparkle to somebody else, it's a beautiful image. It's a rich image. And it's what we want to have. We want to be able to see the sanctity of each of us whenever we look into somebody's face, and even more when we look in the mirror. May God's face shine upon you and be gracious to you always, and may you know peace. It's one thing to have that blessing. It's one thing to recognize that sanctity. It's another thing to take that sanctity and use it for good. And so part of the priest doing this was to say, I'm imparting that blessing from me to you. I'm trying to transfer the goodness from me to you. Now you go off into the world and do the same thing and share that holiness with others. And in a sense, that's what we're called to do as Jews. We're called to be God's partners. We're called to engage in Tikkun Olam, the repair of our world, because we need to give that goodness, that blessing, that peace to other people. This isn't the sort of thing that we can hoard and keep in our own pockets and keep for ourselves stockpiled. Rather, we get more of it and we become richer by giving and by sharing with others. So I hope on this Shabbat that you'll first turn to your children or your parents or the closest person who's acting like a child or the closest person who's acting like a parent or just the person next to you and bless them and offer those words. Offer the words of blessing, of God's nearness, of God's holiness. And I hope that as Shabbat goes by and as the week goes on, you'll take those blessings with you and give of that holiness of yourself and give that holiness to other people. Shabbat services this Friday evening will be at 6 o'clock here at the temple. Saturday morning services will be at 11, preceded of course by Torah study and text study. Next Friday evening we will have our congregation's annual meeting. We'll have the election of our new officers, and we have a wonderful Chinese dinner. We'll celebrate 3 award recipients. The Margie Markson Johnson Heart and Soul Award, which is yet unnamed, the President's Award, which is going to Vicki Feldman, and the Volunteer of the Year Award, which is going to Bruce Gentry, who actually films these videos every week. So part of his volunteer work is allowing you to see me, which I think is a great thing. And we'll be celebrating the growth of our temple and its continued success and flourishing, and assuming the votes all go accordingly, we'll be installing our new president and our new board later that evening. And then next Shabbat, next Saturday morning, we'll celebrate the bat mitzvah of Jenny Seidberg. So there's a lot of good things going on at the temple the next few days, and I hope you'll be a part of it. But even more, I hope you'll feel the blessing of our community, and I hope you'll share that sanctity with others with whom you interact on a daily basis. Shabbat Shalom. Look forward to seeing you in the temple.